And suddenly we've arrived at a new month. Last month, I began a new series where we sit down and prep for the month ahead. We plan our work, finance, health, and personal goals and reflect how we did on the previous months. While I definitely believe that life is about balance and one can only plan so much, I think these videos are a great way to get excited for a new month and also strive towards those bigger yearly intentions. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's reset for April. Welcome back and welcome to a new month. It is April. At the time I'm recording this, it is actually March 31st. So I thought this was the perfect day to do my April monthly reset. If you guys didn't watch last month, I did a March monthly reset where we just kind of reset our lives for the new month ahead. And so I have to give a big shout out to Carter Sullivan. I feel like she has kind of started a reset revolution, if you will. I was watching YouTube the other day and I just noticed how many people have been doing these monthly resets after she started them, and so I wanted to give a big shout out to her. She's always linked down below. She's the inspiration for today's video. I also have been really in a bandana phase, so hence we have another bandana going on in this video. I am so excited for a new month. I think it's a great time to not necessarily always create new goals, but kind of check in with yourself and check in where you're at, especially if you're trying to accomplish those yearly goals, figure out how you can get working towards those things each month. But there's also fun goals too. I broke this down last video in work goals, finance goals, health goals, and personal goals. And then within each one of those buckets, I have kind of a different thing I also want to accomplish. So for work, I want to go through my inbox and clean out my emails and also just take a look at my calendar, see if I need to plan anything or add anything. And then for finances, I actually want to pay my quarterly taxes because that is something that when you're self-employed, oftentimes you have to pay quarterly taxes. And since it is the last day of March, I'm not really expecting to get paid today. I can go ahead and make that payment on the IRS's website, which is really sexy and fun. I might also include a bit of a cleaning session because our apartment is really gross. It hasn't had a proper deep clean in a while. So I might take you guys along with me as we clean the bathroom, clean our windowsill since we have a little bit of mildew buildup. If you've been here for the vlogs, you know my journey with the mildew on our windows. So we might clean that up. And yeah, there's a lot of things I want to talk about this, a lot of changes that I want to talk about in this video. So I think it's going to be a fun time to kind of reset. I also forgot to mention that I want to go through last month's goals and see how we did. So I'm going to quickly run through those. For work goals, if you watched that video, I talked about wanting to post some more Instagram reels. And that one I actually did do kind of. I did post a reel recently on there that I filmed, and I also posted more on my in feed, which is something that's really hard for me for some reason. I'm just really intimidated with posting on my in feed on Instagram. I don't know why. I love posting videos, but Instagram is so much harder for me. But I did post more on there, so we can check that one off. Finished podcast before the Friday of the week. That one did not happen, but something that we're always working towards. If you guys don't know, I have a podcast, and sometimes that ends up being the last thing for me to finish. And so that was definitely still the last thing for me to finish last month, but it's okay. For finances, I wanted to finish taxes, which happened. I wanted to invest some of the leftover cash, which we did together. So that was good. And then I also had get the ball rolling on house buying, and that one has not happened. And I will talk about that here when we get into finance goals in a second. For health goals, I had less processed snacks. I don't think I really did that one, especially because we were traveling so much. I wanted to cook from different cuisines. That one also didn't really happen because we didn't actually end up cooking at home too much because we were traveling, but I do want to get better at that next month. I had go to F45 twice a week and get 2 to 3 gym workouts on top of that. And that one did happen. And I'll talk about health stuff in this vlog too, because there are a lot of good things with health recently. Drinking less alcohol, that one actually did happen as well, which was good. Listen to my body more, definitely did that. And then for personal goals, I wanted to be present during travels. That definitely happened. I loved our travels. I have a whole Florida vlog if you guys want to watch that. And I also vlogged our trip to Austin. So if you guys want to watch those are up. Be better at social media Sabbath days. That one I actually did not really do well. I definitely caught myself going on social media on Sundays, which I try not to do. We're gonna work on that again for next month. I wanted to find a functional medicine doctor. I still did not do that either. And I'll also talk about that when I get into my personal stuff later. Get more vitamin D, that did happen. And then celebrate others well. That also happened because I will talk about something with that too. I got my laptop here because we're gonna start getting into the work and the finance goals for this month. And so I wanted to share that my first big thing that I wanna do is actually from last month, and that's just to continue posting more on Instagram. It feels really good having that, and I think it's a great way to actually grow Instagram. I did grow a bit on there because of that, and so I want to keep spending time on Instagram, so that is one of my first goals. The second thing, I'm actually most likely, this isn't totally confirmed, but working with probably one of my most absolute dream brands. I really don't have a lot of dream brands on my list. I think all the companies that I work with are pretty much dream brands, but this one in particular is so exciting, and I got this email a month ago from them and was just kind of working everything out with my management, and so I'm really praying that that one follows through. But with that being said, I have that one and then another really cool company I'm working with on Instagram, and I just want to create really awesome content for them. So that is one of my goals for work. And then my last one is to diversify my podcast. So my podcast has always kind of been my last thing on my list because primarily my focus is normally on my YouTube channel and Instagram lately. But with that being said, I think I've kind of been slacking with coming up with new ideas for the podcast. And so I want to get better at that. I recently upgraded my equipment, so I've been a bit more motivated with the podcast. So that is something that I want to work on this month. And now what we're going to do is actually go through and just clean out my inbox, because my emails on the description of all my YouTube videos, I just get a lot of spam emails to my work email. So we're gonna go through, clean everything out so we can start fresh in April with a fresh inbox. And while I'm doing this, I happen to be watching Carter Sullivan's video. So we're gonna put something on in the background and just get this done. Our inbox is all clear, which feels good, but now I like to go through my calendar, and sometimes when I'm booking things for the next month, I will just quickly input them, but I won't color coordinate them or anything, or I'll just mark it as a task on Google Calendar because that's what I use. But I just kind of like to go in and organize everything. So I'm gonna go through here, organize my calendar. I'll show a screenshot of what it looks like when it's done right here. And in here, I like to put personal things. I like to put especially video sponsors, which typically I do have booked out for the next month, which I'm very thankful for. This month I do as well. So I'm gonna go through, organize everything, and make it look a lot easier to look at. I just finished mapping out my calendar. This isn't absolutely everything, but this is everything that I know I have solidified for the next month in terms of work and personal so far. But we're gonna talk about finance related goals right now. I need to pay Q1 taxes like I mentioned, so I'm gonna do that here in a second. Another thing that I wanna try to do this month as much as we can is try to plan and book our trips. If you guys listened to my last monthly reset video, I talked about how we're very spontaneous travelers, which I think is fun, but I also think it's fun saving money and booking things in advance. So I want to do that this month because we have a lot of tentative plans for the summer, but I want to try to finalize those. Another thing that I want to try to do is possibly cut from somewhere in our budget to possibly get a full-time F45 membership. Aiden and I have been going pretty often lately. We've been going about 3 times a week, and we have a plan where I don't even know how many classes we get, but we've been buying a lot of extra classes outside of our pack. And so I think it would be really awesome to possibly do a full-time membership. I need to ask him. I also don't want to get burnt out doing it though, because F45 is definitely an easy workout to get burnt out. Well, not necessarily, because it always is changing, but it's been so much fun lately, and I love doing it with Aiden too. And we've been really good. We're going tonight. We went a couple nights ago. We've been definitely going 3 times a week. And so I think it might be worth it to do a full-time membership, but we'll see with that. And you'll notice that the house buying process is not part of this plan, because I know we have been going back and forth for a while, but we have recently been talking a lot about not buying a home when our lease is up in June. You guys definitely know how the market is right now. It is crazy, and sometimes we start to think it's a little too crazy, and no one really knows what's gonna happen, but it's making us a little bit nervous right now to possibly buy right now with everything that's going on. And obviously I just really want a home to live in. I want to have a home to be able to start, putting down roots more in something that we physically own. It's also a financial goal that we have, and I think we've done all the right steps to get there, but at the same time we want to do it in a way where it makes sense and we're not completely overpaying for something right now, which I know everyone says that when they're going to buy a home, but it's crazy right now. It's absolutely crazy. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about just the housing market in general, and definitely makes me a little bit nervous. So we might be renting for another year. I do want to continue to save money, obviously invest money, do everything that we can. That is kind of a dream that I've put on the back burner. I'm going to focus my energy elsewhere because doesn't seem like it's gonna happen, but that is okay. For my taxes, this is really boring. I don't really know why I'm sharing this, but I have an Excel sheet where I will track everything that I make each quarter. I also like to talk about this because I know a lot of people want to be doing content creation full-time, so I think it's just interesting to share if that's something you're interested in. But I basically track everything on here. I track when I get paid for everything, and so at the end of each quarter, I like to sum up how much I have made and log that just for my own purposes. I also log where the money's coming from. So was it Instagram? Was it YouTube? Was it YouTube AdSense? Was it a brand deal? It's just nice to kind of track patterns over time, and this is something that Eden does a lot too with me because he's good at doing Excel modeling and all that. And essentially every time I get paid from anything, I always set aside a certain percentage for taxes based off of what I anticipate my income being, and I will just go ahead and pay that. And obviously it adds up with my Excel sheet with how much that we owe. So I'm gonna go ahead and pay this. Technically, I think that we have till actual tax day, which is April 18th this year, I believe. Yeah, it's April 18th, but I just like to do it as soon as I can just so I have this fear of forgetting to pay my taxes. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. For some reason, when I do personal things, I always want to sit on the floor. And also, I don't know if you can hear my candle burning, but it's one of those woodwick ones. It's a little bit loud. But for my health ones first, so like I mentioned, I want to keep going to F45 3 times a week. It's been really good for us, so I want to keep that up with Aiden. I also want to try to cook from home more often. I really miss doing this. And obviously with traveling, you can't always control this. And I think with health, it goes back and forth each month. But I have noticed kind of my body just feeling a bit out of sync because I'm not cooking meals where I know where everything's coming from. And so I definitely want to keep doing this in the next month. Another one, now that it's nice out, it is going to be beautiful this weekend, and I anticipate it being pretty beautiful for a lot of April as well. I want to try to go for more walks outside, and specifically, sometimes when I think of walks, I always try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and use it as Cash's exercise and also a walk. I obviously want to keep exercising our dog. We walk him twice a day, but sometimes those walks aren't really as enjoyable because I'm thinking of them as something that I need to check off to say that I've exercised him. And I want to start walking more for us, again, just to keep getting more vitamin D. And I definitely noticed myself being a lot happier when I spend more time outside, so I want to try to do that. And then lastly, for the personal things, the first thing that I want to do that I didn't do last month was to find a functional medicine doctor. I've talked a lot about going off of hormonal birth control, and I feel like my body right now is just incredibly all over the place. And part of me wants to wait to do this until my hormones have kind of settled down, because I think if I get things tested right now, they're probably going to be all crazy because my cycles aren't regular. And so I kind of want to wait to do this, but at the same time, I definitely think it would be helpful to do right now. So I want to try to look into doing that. I want to continue celebrating others well. That was something that was my goal last month. And there's a lot to celebrate this month because we have so many birthdays in my family. Aiden just got a promotion, which is really exciting. And so it's really fun having things to celebrate. And I want to continue to do that in April. Keep planning hangouts. I've been very social lately, and I talk about this in a podcast recently about feeling more abundant in my life. I've touched on this on videos too, or in my videos. It's been really nice just being more social and hanging out with people more. It definitely makes me a lot happier. So I want to continue doing that in April. And then the last 2 are kind of intertwined, but I want to spend more time in silence, of not always having to listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, just with my thoughts. And I think a lot of times I like to try to do this in the car. So I want to do this more often. I think it's good for me as a person to learn how to just be silent and not always be trying to learn something or do something or watch something or be entertained. It's just good to learn how to sit with my thoughts. And lastly, this is one that's been really hard for me lately, and that is to pray instead of getting emotional about things. There are a lot of things on the horizon in terms of next steps for our life changes. And then anytime you're just dealing with things that make you discontent or are kind of upsetting, I found myself lately getting very emotional instead of bringing these things to God. And there's a verse that talks about presenting all the things to God that is on your mind. I wish I knew that verse. I should probably know that verse. I just want to be better at keeping my relationship with God at the center of everything and actually taking that time to pray to Him when I need direction and I need wisdom, and also when I just want Him to know what's on my heart. So I want to continue doing that, or do that more in April. Currently in the bathroom because I'm about to do some deep cleaning of our bathroom. I feel like this is random to put in this video, but I know a lot of people enjoy the cleaning content, so we're gonna put it in because it's getting done today. Basically, everything needs to be deep cleaned. The sinks, the countertops, the shower, the toilet, basically everything. So I'm gonna pop in a video. I also just threw on my Lululemon Align set because I'm gonna wear this tonight to our workout. And honestly, it's not random because it's nice to start with a fresh bathroom for a fresh month, so it works out. Our bathroom is done, and now I'm just gonna go around our living room space and clean all our windows and our mirrors. We're now just gonna clean out our little entryway right here because it's gotten a bit cluttered. And that's this month's reset routine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this is definitely more of a new series on my channel, so let me know if you enjoy watching these. I know they're very different, but I'm trying to kind of explore different things here on YouTube, try different things, and never just get used to doing the same old, and just continuing to grow. So let me know if you enjoyed it. Again, check out Carter's video. She's great. Her monthly reset is up if you guys want to watch that. And let me know what are some of your goals for April too. I would love this to be just kind of a motivational and happy place for everyone. So let me know what you're working on this month, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.